Good evening, everyone. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Oh, and Squeaky Cat. Hi there. How you doing? Huh? Little purry cat. I have seen a lot of requests for a Bigfoot story. I do this with hesitation and considering because I'm not a typical Bigfoot fan or fanatic or believer. And get off the camera. Now the Squeaky Cat is on the camera. I don't know why cats and cameras, they have to push the tripod. What is it? I'm going to have to reset it. So, I'm attempting this again. I have propped up the legs of the tripod with bricks and weights and everything possible to stop the cats from attacking it, and they are hovering around it like sharks. Why do cats love to push the tripod? I don't know. Anyway, I was not a believer in the Bigfoot stories. I didn't disbelieve, I just didn't believe, and I had no opinion really. But then years ago, I heard about this guy who calls himself Dr. Dino, and his name is Kent Hovind. You might want to check him out. He had a dinosaur park, and he would teach kids about dinosaurs, and using archaeological evidence and living proof, and through a lot of research and using the Bible as well, he showed that dinosaurs were real, which a lot of us believe, but that a lot of them still walk the earth today, which excited me because I wanted to believe in them. As a kid, I often read dinosaur books, and I had the Loch Ness Monster story. There's a good example in itself. So many people have seen it. Can it be fake? I mean, seriously? Sure, there's a lot of people faking it. A lot of people want it to be real and want to believe it. A lot of people make up the stories just to get drama and to get videos and to get their name known on whatever. Who cares? But there's so many sightings, it can't all be fake. And I had a book about the Loch Ness Monster when I was a kid, and I wanted to believe, but I wasn't sure. But after finding out some research and learning, like for example, there are places, I think in Africa, deep in the jungle, where there are paintings and stories about a dinosaur that was thought to be extinct, still in existence today, and they're known to kill men. Their stories are current, modern, and they exist. And then they found that, forgive me if I say it wrong, the coelacanth or whatever that was, that big old giant fish that was thought to be extinct, and it made a big fuss and it made worldwide news. Well, that was pretty cool. So, you know, maybe certain things are out there. Well, anyway, Bigfoot. I didn't really know what to think. I didn't really have any opinion. I started reading Backwoods Magazine, and the writer of the Backwoods Magazine strongly believes in this stuff. Thanks to Trucker Buck, who got me a subscription to it last year. This guy's always talking about Bigfoot and talks about his personal experiences and sightings with them, which, by the way, scare me because they like to throw rocks at people. And I'm not really excited about that, and they like to chase people. I think they get a kick out of it because I've never heard of a person harmed by a Bigfoot. Again, I'm talking about stories, nothing that I believed in or whatever. I'm just talking about stories that I heard or read, and I never heard about anybody being harmed by them. Again, I had no real opinion. I thought it was cool stories, and I'd like to believe in it, but nah, it's just unbelievable, right? Can't be possible. Well, 2 years ago, yeah, last summer was quiet, relatively quiet. 2 years ago, I had quite often heard a sound, and it was out this way, always out here towards the swamp, always in the same spot, and maybe only about 50 yards into the forest, you could hear this very clear and distinct sound as if somebody is taking two bamboo sticks and clapping them together 4 times, once a second. precisely. 4 times, once per second, precisely timed. Clap, 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 clap. And I would hear that every once in a while. And then I had a guest over here spending some time. He spent 2-3 weeks over here. And we were sitting out here quite often in the evening visiting. And you heard this clap, 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 and then silence. And in that period, it started becoming more often. And I tell you, I've lived around the forest my whole life. I grew up in Michigan. I spent more time in the forest and in the water than I did in the house. I was always outside. I had no fear of the darkness, no fear of the woods, no fear of anything out there. I'd go out 4 o'clock in the morning with a pen light held between my teeth, carrying my hunting gear, going out in the pitch black of dark, going to go hunting before the sunrise. No fear. Anyway, out here I started becoming afraid of the dark because there was something out there making noises. And, you know, it was weird. And then, of course, I had the bear attack the camper that night. I was on the live talk show on the streaming web radio that night, and a lot of people heard me. I suddenly had to run off. The bear attacked the back of the camper, growled. It was going after a refrigerator, and scared me and baby cat pretty badly. So I know what a bear sounds like, up close and personal. I do. And bears growl. They don't clap sticks together. I know what deer scratching a tree is like. I know what deer butting heads is like. And I could understand if deer were butting heads, you know, hitting a couple times, button, but not regularly, and not with precision, once a second, and always 4 times. So I found that very odd, and I still didn't have an explanation. I was really trying to figure out what is that sound, and I remember talking to my friend out there. Baby, get off the tripod. I remember talking to my friend all the time, what is that sound? And we couldn't figure it out. It wasn't a deer, it wasn't a bear, it wasn't wild pigs, because it was too precise. Nothing in the forest is precise. It's random. Forest noises are random. They're not perfectly timed, and they're not so clear like hollow bamboo sticks. It sounded just like hollow bamboo sticks. So I couldn't explain it. And then one night, we were outside chatting, the two of us, right out here, where the tiny house is now, right outside here. And we were out between the 2 rocks under the trees, and it was a peaceful, beautiful night. And we were visiting, and we heard the 4 clear and precise, timed sounds, like bamboo sticks, clap, 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 clap. And we were staring off into the forest trying to figure out what was that. And all of a sudden, we heard this heavy thing rushing at us. I mean, you could tell it was huge, and you could tell it was heavy. And it ran. You could hear it crashing through the forest at us. And all I can tell you is we were terrified. It wasn't a bear, because our little bear, he doesn't come up to my knees. He's a little bear. Actually, you saw him on video last year, I think, last spring, I think it was. He went cruising by here, eating blueberries, didn't even look up at me much. He's used to me now. He doesn't really pay me any attention anymore. It wasn't a bear, and a bear isn't really going to rush you unless it's got cubs. And that little brown bear, he isn't going to make that noise. Trust me, that little bear did not make that loud noise. You could just tell it was heavy. It was huge, and it was fast crashing through the woods. And I'll be honest, I didn't stick around to find out what it was. It was heavier than a human. You grew up in the forest long enough, you've been out in the woods long enough, you can tell the sound of a chipmunk running through the leaves. You can tell the sound of a squirrel running through the leaves, and you can distinguish the two. You can tell the sound of a deer walking. They don't really run that much, but running, walking, whatever. You can tell the sound of a deer. You can tell the difference of what's what walking through the forest. And anybody that's been out in the woods any amount of time will definitely confirm this. There's the black cat. I don't get it. Now I've got 2 cats trying to rub on the tripod all the time. So anyway, anybody that has been around the woods will confirm that you can identify the different sounds of different animals in the woods. If you're from the city, And of course you're going to say, no, you can't. But anyway, whatever. This was big. It was really huge. And I can't explain it. All I can say is, I'm becoming afraid of the dark in the woods at night. And I'm starting to believe in Bigfoot. Not saying I do. Not saying I don't. But there's something was out there. So there's my story. I hope you all enjoyed it. And talk to you all later. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World, the Off-Grid Project. And also check out TR Tech Tactical, outdoor sports, survival, and product reviews. Good night.